How can we help somebody who may be in the final stages of life or receiving end of life care transition back across to the other side, back across to spirit, which is who they truly are, that is their default vibration, but they might not be quite open to that? So how can we assist somebody with that in their final stages of life, but understanding that perhaps all their life they've been complete atheist, they haven't believed necessarily in any type of religion. I'm not personally religious, guys, but I am aware that we are spirit having a human experience. So there's religions, there's spirituality, and some people don't believe in any of that at all. However, they are still transitioning back to spirit, even though they don't believe that. And that's their choice, and that's absolutely fine. And what I'm not saying here is you want to suddenly start preaching to them when they're on their deathbed. That's not what I'm saying. I've made this video so that you can help somebody just gently by saying certain things to them while they're in the final throes of life that will really help them to move, transmigrate back to soul, back to spirit, even if they don't believe that's where they're going. And why would you want to do that? Well, it's always good to know that your loved one has transitioned back to spirit in an easeful, graceful way and not had any difficulties. Because what happens is sometimes is, when I say difficulties, they always find their way eventually, always. There is so much help from the spirit worlds. So usually at the end of their life, they might be sleeping a lot. Or they might be in and out of consciousness. And usually that's because they have got a foot in each world. So they've got a foot in the earthly realm and they've got a foot in spirit world. It'd be a metaphorical foot because spirit world isn't a physical place. And on the other side, there are many, many, many beings of unconditional love helping them. But they might not be open to that. So as they're transitioning, they might not see them easily. They might not perceive them easily, okay? So there's things that you can do on the other side that sort of works with spirit to help your loved ones easily, gracefully move across to the other side so that they find their way back to the truth of who they are, and there's no confusion, okay? So because if they're not open to this type of thing, then obviously you wouldn't go in, all guns blazing, preaching to them about all sorts of things. But you would want to gently say certain words to them that will help them to let go, that will help them to move across. And why some souls might find it difficult to move across straight away is because they're so attached to the physical world. They feel like they've got unfinished business. They feel like they haven't forgiven themselves. They feel ridden with guilt. Perhaps they've had a traumatic life. So what happens is the person could get potentially very, very attached to that and find it difficult to let go, because the soul really wants the person to let go of all that before passing across, because the earthly experience, the frequency of the earthly experience can be a lot heavier than the frequency of spirit. Okay, the spirit vibrates very, very, very high. And if you're trying to move back into spirit, but you're trying to take all those heavy emotions with you, that's going to be a little bit it's just going to take a little bit of time. So there's certain things that you can say to people that are nearing the end of life. Sometimes they may have gone all their life saying that's a load of woo-woo, that's not real. But in their final throes of life, they might be a little bit more accepting of that. They might seem to be a little bit more open to it, or maybe not, that's fine. But there's still words, comforting words that you can say to them, which is having a profound effect on their vibration. And the universe responds to the resonance, okay? So if you're saying certain things to them, which is really lightening their vibration as they're moving across, it's really, really, really going to help, guys, okay? So the first thing you can say, and you'll see me glancing down because I've got them written down, you are loved, okay? When we have this earthly experience, sometimes we don't feel that unconditional love. We get caught up in so much that we feel sometimes that we're a bit unloved, and sometimes we struggle to share that love as well. But from the eyes of the universe, we are absolutely adored. The universe knows how hard the earthly experience can be, and we are absolutely adored for the experience that we're having here. We are so loved by spirit. I can't even tell you how much we are loved, because it goes beyond words. But what you can say to somebody is no matter what, they are loved. They are loved because love is what they are at their core. And just saying those words is not going in full-blown preaching to them, but it's reminding them that they are loved because they really are. And someone, even if they seem to be fast asleep while you're saying it, I believe that they do absorb these words at a subconscious level. So if you tell them that they are loved, then that has a profound effect on their vibration, okay? So the next thing you can say as well is if they've maybe had a difficult life, or even if they haven't had a difficult life, if you feel that they feel that they could have done better. Sometimes people are so hard on themselves, aren't they? You can say to them, you've done your absolute best. You've done the very best you can in life. Don't be hard on yourself. You've done brilliantly, because we are doing really well from our level of conditioning. That is true. So you can either say to them, you've done your very best. Be proud of yourself. You've done your very best, or you are doing your best. Okay. That's really comforting words as well. So a spirit passing across back to the spirit realms, integrating back into spirit, that lightens them up as well. Knowing, someone thinks I've done my very best. And you can, that's genuine. That's a genuine thing, because people are doing their very best, okay? You don't want someone transitioning thinking, I could have done better, because we're so hard on ourselves here in this earthly experience. Let them know that they've done their very, very best and they've done brilliantly, because that will help to raise their vibration as well. The next thing that you can say to them, and it doesn't have to be in this order, you could just drop these in from time to time, you can just say it gently as you're with them or holding their hand, whenever you want. You can decide. Trust that you'll say the right thing at the right time as well. Trust that you'll say the right thing that is not too much, but is just enough, to help them to remember that they are a vast spirit having a human experience, because we've forgotten that in our lifetime. We've forgotten just how vast and multidimensional that we are, and we very much play small, okay? So the other thing that you can say to them as well is, we will be okay. Because sometimes it's difficult for a soul to transition easily if they feel that their loved ones are hanging on so much. They don't want them to go, which we don't, okay? It is difficult for us. We don't want them to leave us. But if you can say to them, again, even if they're sleeping or awake, we'll be okay. Obviously, we'll miss you, but we will be okay. Don't worry about us. I know you're not going to be far away from us anyway, and we're all connected. Don't worry, we will be fine. We will miss you, but we'll be okay. That has a massive effect on their vibration as well, because somewhere in their consciousness, they're going, they'll be okay. Because sometimes they don't want to leave us because they're worried that we're not going to be okay. And they take that burden with them. Tell them that you will be okay, even if there's every fibre of your being thinking, I don't think I'm going to be okay for a while. Just reassure them that you will be, and in the end you will be okay. As you go through the process, you will. So reassure them of that if you can, if you want to. And you could also say, all is forgiven. If you feel it's appropriate to say to them, all's forgiven, don't worry, they don't have to know, you can just say those words. If there's anything that you feel that they're struggling to forgive, or you think that maybe they think that somebody doesn't forgive them about something, just say the words, all's forgiven, you're fine, you're loved, all is forgiven. It's okay to let go of all those things, Sometimes we go through our whole life, we can't let go, we can't forgive, and then on our deathbed we say, I find it easier to forgive now. It's like that letting go is already happening, because that transition is already happening. But you can say to them, all is forgiven, all is well, okay? And you can also say, remember who you truly are. Because who they truly are isn't just a physical body. Who they truly are is a vast being of light. But again, we forget this. We come into the earthly experience, and the illusion of this dualistic 3D world completely convinces us this is all we are, and we forget that we're a vast soul. So those words will have a profound effect, because what that's doing is that's triggering the remembering for them as they're transitioning across to the other side, that they can remember who they truly are. And something will have an effect if you just say those words. Again, just gently say it in passing to them, okay? And It's up to you though, it's your choice. You can say some of these words, none of these words, or all of them. So it's up to you. You can trust that you will say the right thing to your loved one or the person that you're spending time with as they're transitioning across to the other side. The other thing you can say is, well, your transition will be easy. Your transition will be easy. So you could, their transition will be made easy because there are beings of light on the other side always helping them. Sometimes you find that people who are in their final stages of life will be sleeping, and all of a sudden they'll say, Mum, Dad, Gran, pets, somebody who's transitioned before them has made themselves aware that they're there, and the energy of that spirit is showing themselves to them in a form that they will remember. So that's already happening on the other side. But sometimes if that person isn't completely open to it, you wouldn't want to go in with too many deep things about how the soul is moving across to the other side if they're not open to it. But these words just simplify it a little bit so that you're not going in too deep, but you're just gently saying calming, comforting, loving, supportive words that I can assure you is having a profound effect on their vibration and is really, really helping them to transition across to the other side. I know that we never want our loved ones to go, but in truth, they're not going anywhere. They remain in the heart, which is where there is unity. Okay. And the biggest gift that you can give to yourself and to that person is to help them to let go of any attachments that they might feel they need to take with them, okay, as they pass. So what these words do is they just lighten that burden a little bit, and it's much easier for them to move across with ease and grace. So I hope this video helps, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.